All right, Colette, now let's review the purpose of adding value to the quote. So what do I mean by adding value to the quote? Making the quote seem as real as possible, okay? Now, let's say, for example, customers are shopping around, okay? They're going from one agency to another, okay? And just imagine that a customer is getting, let's say, 40 to 50, okay, on the majority of the companies.
Okay.
Or maybe, you know, they go to an agency that is not as clever, okay, and doesn't really use the methods that we use, and they actually quote them the right price. So let's say, for example, they give them, let's say, $59, okay? That's the exact, okay? Now, we are gonna offer a competitive quote, which in this case, most likely, we're gonna give them, let's say, 30 to 35. So the 30 to 35, it's a lot lower than the 40 to 50, or lower than the exact of 59, and that's just for the sake of the scenario. So one of the things that customers are gonna do, they're gonna question, okay, the quote. Or what if we give the customer 20, 25 to 30? See, customers are now understanding the way insurance companies work, or the way agencies work, or the way we work, okay? Because at the end of the day, when someone's shopping around and they're not ready, no one's gonna give them the exact option. Okay? Now, the 25 or 30 may be somewhat an idea of what they could qualify for. Okay, now our job is gonna be to convince them that 25 or 30 is something realistic. Okay, so the whole purpose of adding value or making the quote seem realistic to allow the customer to come back as soon as possible. So let's say, for example, let's say if you just offer, let's say the $30 to $35, let's say, for instance, okay, but you just give them, you simply tell them, look, the lowest option that we have is $30 to $35. When do you want to come back? That's going to be very basic,
Right.
Okay. So customers are not going to be interested, or they may not keep our option as an option, or they may just wait until they are completely ready. But the whole focus of adding value to the quote is to have them come back as soon as possible. See, I have a rule. When we talk about walks, let's say, for example, when we talk about assisting a customer that's not ready today, my whole focus is for them to actually come back the same day or to come back the next day. That's the whole purpose of adding value to the quote. Now, let's say if you're interested in coming back in 2 weeks, okay? If I just give you basic information, you know, the same as the example that I gave you, just, you know, basically telling you 25 to 30 and asking you by when do you want to come back, then the customer is going to come back whenever they want.
Right.
Okay, because I'm not adding any type of urgency to the 25 to 30. But if I'm more descriptive, let's say, and I add value to the option by telling you, look, this is an option that's not going to be available within the next couple of days. Matter of fact, this option may not be available by tomorrow. Okay, so definitely, if you're interested in making a decision on the 25 to 30, then this is something that that you should definitely consider today. You should definitely make a decision today, okay? Because the 25 to 30 may not be available tomorrow. So the longer you wait, the higher chances of you losing the option, okay? And explaining the coverages, for example, okay, that's definitely another benefit, because a lot of agencies are not given any type of information. So, educating the customer on risk as well, okay? Adding value to the option, okay? All of these are methods, or you could say are factors that customers are not obtaining in other agencies. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So as soon as you give the customer a quick description of the coverages, you add urgency, you emphasize on the risk, you add value to the option, okay, and you tell them that this option may not be available, then you're adding value to the option. The customer may consider coming back a lot sooner. So instead of them waiting 2 weeks, they're going to come back within a week or two. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So once again, the whole purpose of adding value to the quote is to give the customer enough information, okay? Besides the actual monthly, give the customer enough information, okay, so that they can make a decision on coming back a lot sooner. Okay?